Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review HBO's new documentary, Tiger. And this was over the course of 2 Sunday nights. It's like an hour and a half, an hour 40 minutes, each of these two installments of this documentary series focusing on Tiger Woods. And as somebody who grew up in the 90s and the 2000s, Tiger Woods was huge. And like on and off in my life, I would watch golf and keep up with golf. There was even one random year that I did fantasy golf on Yahoo Sports because basically you could do fantasy anything on Yahoo Sports. But Tiger Woods is one of the most famous athletes, I would argue, of all time. And he completely changed the game of golf to get so many different people watching golf. And it was so different because, like, you think golf, it's a bunch of white people. And Tiger Woods is a man of color. He's a black man. He's mixed race. And he brought a different energy. He brought a different personality. He was so intense. But he seemed like such a fun guy. And then I do remember when all of it hit the fan with all of his affairs and all that came to light. And all of a sudden, this guy who is one of the most famous and admired athletes in the world came crumbling down. And over the past couple years, like, I keep up with sports a lot. Like, I have two sports that I really watch. I watch baseball, I watch football. But I kind of keep up with other sports. Like, I kind of know what's going on. Like, I know that all that nonsense with James Harden just getting traded to the Brooklyn Nets, all that kind of stuff, I keep up with it. And I know Tiger Woods has come back. He's won golf tournaments again. And he's obviously not the same Tiger Woods, but also, to be fair, he's older. It's not like 1997 when he's like this really bright shining star of a young kid playing golf, this phenom. It's 23 years later. It's like things aren't going to be the same. And it's been so interesting being alive and cognizant of who Tiger Woods is through all of this. And this documentary really captures it. And really captures, because I remember for a while, because like there's clips in here of them making jokes about Tiger Woods and all of his affairs on like late shows and on all the sports, and like they have Stephen A. Smith being like, Tiger Woods is done. And I remember all of that. And this documentary really captures all of that. Which to say, just because a documentary can capture things that we all know about already, doesn't mean it's a great documentary. What really sets this documentary apart is really seeing deep down what brought Tiger Woods to being the person that he is, his relationship with his father, the insight into how he trained. And like, it was so funny because there's a moment in the first episode where like Phil Mickelson was one of his biggest rivals, and just naturally they're both big time golfers at the time, and you look at them, Tiger Woods looks like he's an athlete. He like puts in the work, he's fit, and then you look at Phil Mickelson and he's just like, hey, I know how to play golf. I just go off on the golf course. It's like, he's a little bit of a belly and stuff like that. It's just like, he just plays golf. And he's really good at it. But you see the intensity, the discipline that allowed Tiger Woods to be the person that he was. You get this insight into who Tiger Woods is. One thing that I thought would be really interesting, which like, here's the tricky thing about documentaries. In a perfect world, you would hear from all sides. There's no, like, they don't sit down and talk to Tiger Woods in an interview for this documentary, or his wife. You don't really hear from her. You do hear from his former girlfriend from when he was younger, and some of the women he was involved with, which I think is probably the most interesting and enticing thing about this. And it paints a different picture. It's like, it's interesting seeing the perspective, like, he wasn't just sleeping around. He was having emotional connections with other women and building these relationships and hearing about what made Tiger Woods and what he would be like inside his bedroom, and trying to clamor for, like, they interviewed the woman that he had a serious relationship in from like this club owner, and talking about how he would watch cartoons and stuff like that, and just appreciate the like being a child again, because growing up it was all about golf. And you see that pressure that his father put on him, and that's one of the most interesting things about this documentary that digs into that. So this is a this isn't like mind-blowing new documentary or earth-shattering documentary, but it's such an interesting dive into who Tiger Woods really is. And then from start to finish, all the way up until today, the journey that Tiger Woods has been on to rise and potentially be the greatest golfer of all time, to come crashing down from his affairs, him getting arrested, and building himself back up. And they hit the dramatic beats of him playing his matches and playing golf and getting back there. And I put this up there with, like, I think The Last Dance really got me. Like, and I was enthralled in that. I was really enticed into watching this Tiger documentary, and HBO delivers a really quality documentary here. But those are my thoughts on Tiger. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some TV. Now, thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.